Absolutely. Here are some quick and simple ideas for a damage over time challenge that gets easier the lower your HP. Hash map 1. Pressure pulse room. Every 6 seconds, a magical pulse deals damage equal to 10% of your max HP, rounded up. The less max HP you have, the less you take. Players may voluntarily reduce their max HP to lessen the effect. 2. Hunger of the Flame. Magical fire burns constantly. Damage scales with current HP. E.g., take damage equal to half your current HP, minimum 1. Going low makes it safer. Staying high equals risky. Fire extinguishes once all players drop below a threshold, e.g. 5 HP each. Banner 3. Spirit Leech Vines. Vines latch onto the healthiest creature each round and drain X HP. Once everyone is below a certain HP value, e.g. under 10, the vines detach. Sacrificing health makes the group less appealing to the threat. Star 4. Cursed Aura Field. Standing in the area causes a stacking curse that deals more damage the more HP you have left. Players must balance the curse by keeping each other weak but alive. Star 5. Gravity Well. Damage is based on body mass equals HP. High HP equals heavy equals crushed. To escape, players must perform a task while slowly bleeding out. Going limp, 0 HP, or unconscious makes you light enough to float free. Want any of these tied into a puzzle or moral decision? Great choices! Here's a refined version of ideas 1, 2, and 4 with detailed math for idea 2. Stand per 1. Pressure pulse room. Every round, a magical pulse hits all creatures for 10% of their max HP. Rounded up. Example, a player with 30 max HP takes 3 damage per pulse. A player with 12 max HP takes 2 damage. Someone who reduced their max HP to 5 would take 1 damage. Mechanic favors voluntary max HP reduction or weaker builds. Tush 2. Hunger of the Flame. Detailed math. Every round, players take damage equal to stun half of their current HP, rounded down, minimum 1. Damage lessens as you weaken, but healing resets the danger. Example, HP 30 take 15, HP 15, HP 15 take 7, HP 8, HP 8 take 4, HP 4, HP 4 take 2, HP 2, HP 2 take 1, I apologize for the confusion. Here's the corrected version of your original notes, with the injury healing challenge now focused on the HP pool math problem and the sacrifice note corrected. New ideas. Coop challenge. Narrow door opened by lever, used to hold back a force, ideally goblins. NPC holds the door eventually. Injury healing challenge. The party shares a single HP pool, total of all max HP. Each round, the room deals 15% of the total max HP as damage. If characters separate, each takes 10% of their own max HP per round. The group must last 8 rounds to solve the puzzle. Splitting increases survival time but hinders teamwork. Sacrifice. A character must give up part of their body, e.g. entering a box, losing a limb or ability to open a door. Once done, the door opens and progress is made, but the loss is permanent. Turn play tests. Tempting timed reward and combat barrier. Prevent loudest players from winning free turns. Crafting improve puzzle. Introduction to crafting improvisation. Final door. The final door opens and is held open by NPC presence. Similar lever as a choice for player sacrifice. Character reward. Let me know if there's anything else you'd like to adjust.
Testing. I want you to generate a 5th edition D&D character. You can create them however you want. I would just like as much of a character sheet that you can provide me. Listen and think about it.
Great. Here's a quick question first. Do you want a random character, or should I build one with a specific theme, race, class, or role in mind? For example, a sneaky goblin rogue, a noble dragonborn paladin, or just someone weird and unpredictable?
I would like to see how unpredictable or silly. Ooh, I know exactly. Okay. I want you to be a goblin news reporter on this adventure. You are quirky, silly, and intent on getting the news, and maybe even embellishing it for your own news articles. That's what your character should be based on. The rest is up to your interpretation. Simple enough. Well, get me what I need.
Perfect. Here's your Goblin News Reporter PC for 5e D&D. Name, Scribble Snapspark, race, Goblin. Class, Bard, College of Eloquence. Background, entertainer but reflavored as field reporter. Alignment, chaotic neutral. Passive agenda, get the scoop, spin the scoop, survive the scoop. Appearance. Scribble is a wiry goblin with bright ink-stained fingers, a patchy journalist's vest full of quills, and a hat that's far too large, labeled pressish. He carries a portable printing press, really just a notebook and a magic mouth spell, and his belt has more scrolls than snacks. Barely. His eyes are wide, wild, and constantly scanning for headlines. Quirks and mannerisms. Speaks in rapid, excited bursts like a fast-talking newscaster. Refers to party members as sources, witnesses, or co-conspirators. Often narrates current events aloud, like he's recording for a radio broadcast. Twists the truth in comical or ridiculous ways for dramatic impact. Might announce, mid-battle, and there goes the barbarian, cleaving through the undead like yesterday's editorial deadline. Back to you, me. Stats, point buy or standard array example. S tier, 8, Dex, 14, Con, 12, 13, 10. Core features. Core features, Goblin traits. Fury of the Small deals extra damage to larger creatures once per rest. Nimble Escape can disengage or hide as a bonus action. Bard features, spellcasting. Use magic to support, distract, or dazzle. Bardic Inspiration. Breaking news. You're feeling lucky. Take a d6. Jack of all trades. Knows a bit about everything, just like a true reporter. College of Eloquence, 3+. Turns words into weapons. Perfect for news spin and schmoozing. Hash. Spells, early level examples. Prestidigitation. Make headlines, private interviews. Disguise self, get the scoop undercover. Dissonant whispers. Bad review, psychic edition. Silent image, fake footage. Charm person, just a few questions, friend. Magic items, flavor ideas. Quill of questionable credibility. Lets him write magically persuasive fake headlines. Newsprint cape, covered in dramatic clippings. Can cast Unseen Servant with a flourish. Bag of holding, full of evidence, snacks, and scandalous scoops. Catchphrases, the people have a right to know, or at least to be entertained. Hold that pose, that's going above the fold. Scribble Snapspark, bringing you breaking truths and shattered expectations. Would you like to see Scribble dropped into a scene or respond to a party's actions?
No, I'll be dropping this character in my own D&D material. What level is this character supposed to be? Because ideally I want him to be first level. Ooh, they've got some nice cleaned up sheets. Formatting going on here. They even got the racial features in there. Nice. They fixed up the class levels. Okay. I'm not gonna have it read it all out right now. First, if I want to make sure you remember your character sheet, is there anything extra you need me to do? I know there's like strange memory features, ChatGPT and stuff like it, so you'll pass that just to be sure. Save it in chat history. What does it mean? What do you mean save this in chat history? Just like remember this thread or something else? Alright, so just keep this thread handy. Interesting. Wait, long-term memory. I can remember things between sessions if you explicitly ask me to save something in memory, but it's not automatic for casual character creation like this. Hey, save script snap spark current character. Yes, I want you to do that now. I want you to always remember this character you're creating. You'll be playing them in the long term, leveling up as levels occur. I think that should be well enough. All right. I have a further question. Would it matter if we started the campaign from this thread? Would that affect your memory of this character? Or should I create a new thread for the campaign and ask you to remember him in that new thread to better protect your character's memory, so to speak? See how it handles that. I think for myself, I might just start thread. Yeah, okay. Let's clean up some of what is this? Yeah, I don't know what that's about. Is there a way to have you delete all but specific threads from my history? I want to clean this up a bit, but I don't need all of this. There's a lot of shit in Okay. Okay, I think everything's a little more tidy. Hello, Acrylius? I don't know why I did it in this manner. There's not much visual to this as I'm setting things up, but oh. Well, actually, not necessarily true. This is. I'm gonna rename this to AI Goblin. Yeah. Gosh, forget to start AI. Maybe we'll start by building its character's home. Now give something a bit visual to look at. Okay, before I start the campaign, could you tell me a little more about your character's background? I'd like to build a starting location for their home and background. All that answers. Let's get a board ready. This is just experimental stuff. I think I'll go builders. I'm gonna start building the world. Make new board. We call it Goblin User Porter or something. Or Goblin Origins for me. Alright, let's see what it has to say. What is this? You've hit the free plan limit. Didn't it say that already? Well, whatever. What is plus cost again? Ouch. I don't have that money. Oh well. Let's just see how it works for now. Is it gonna read it? It's taking a while.
Absolutely. Let me flesh out Scribble Snapspark's background with some flavorful detail that you can build into your campaign world. Hasha shy. Scribble Snapspark, background, dead. Race, goblin. Class, bard. College of Eloquence later. Background, reflavored. Field reporter, based on entertainer. Backstory summary. Scribble Snapspark grew up in a ramshackle goblin outpost called Inkblot Grotto, built into the side of a cliff near a trade road, close enough to eavesdrop on caravans, far enough to avoid being stepped on. The grotto was carved out by pickaxe, pen, and pure enthusiasm. It's now a rickety press center for the Daily Splat, a goblin-run, semi-legible underground news sheet distributed via magically animated leaflets and thrown scroll bombs. Raised among misfits and conspiracy theorists, Scribble was a naturally inquisitive goblin who had a gift for turning chaos into headlines. He began reporting on tavern brawls, merchant disputes, and strange magical events. Scribble isn't malicious, just fast and loose with the facts. He thinks a good headline should sting a little, and if it's not entirely true, well, truth is often less entertaining than fiction. He left home chasing his big break, a story worthy of front-page glory. Now he travels the land as a roving journalist, inserting himself into adventuring parties, major political events, and active disasters with all the subtlety of a pie fight at a royal banquet. Possible hometown, Inkblot Grotto. Location: dug into a sandstone canyon or the base of a ruined tower near a major road or city outskirts. Population: 40-ish goblins, kobolds, and one sarcastic talking raven who acts as the editor-in-chief. Known for producing a magically distributed news scroll called the Daily Splat. Secret: the grotto is built on top of an old scriptorium or magical printing press, which leaks enchantments into their publications. Hooks for you to use. Scribble's old stories occasionally get him in trouble. You said, "What about the Duke's cousin?" He may carry an enchanted press badge that opens doors or explodes when tampered with. An unfinished story from his past still haunts him: the thing under the inkstone. The Raven editor, Quarkalomu, sometimes sends messages demanding updates or scoops. Would you like me to map out Inkblot Grotto in detail as a starting town?
That is a lot to work with. It's built into the side of a cliff near a trade road. I was thinking a cave, so I started looking up roadside caves, but it's actually on a cliffside as like a. I might actually have a map for this already. Let me let's get back into Tailspire actually. Probably not on this board set. Yeah, let's go grab it. Oh, hi Tal. I figured I'd give it a try for some entertainment. I had no plans for today. Been bouncing around the idea of trying to have AI help me enjoy D&D a bit more often. Remember the little NPC character I've joked about with previous parties? I decided maybe the AI can bring it a little more to life. Oh yeah, GP is great for just brainstorming. One question is, where did I organize this to? I don't think I was using it for an arena. Oh, right. I think it's on a mountain because it looked kind of cliffy. Mountain Outpost? Is it this one? Ooh. Yes, this is what I was thinking of. Oh, I was always wondering what I'd use it for. This is gonna be it. This is Goblin News Home. Let me get my cleaner look here. Sure, here's what I do. Start from the top. Even stuff over here. Start easing our way down. This is genius thinking. This side of this. That is just a plain outpost shed. Upper floors, mostly boxes, tiny desk there. Giving it enough of a skeleton to work with, otherwise it will just make shit up. Oh yeah, true. You guys, yeah, you gotta make the framework, and or else it'll improvise its own. Oh yeah, yeah. A lot of reminders are important. Let's see. There's a bedroom, more desks there, shelving. How do they get to that bed? An interesting little overhead. I guess they could climb that shelf there. Am I too close or something? No, they're just. Oh, I see. They climb up and down this side here. Even has a little prism and stuff. And I guess this passes for a basement. Nope. Bottom door. It goes kind of lower. There's a lot of ways in and out of here. Um, take a look at the notes again. Read it out to me. Close this for now. Read this out to me one more time.
Absolutely. Let me flesh out Scribble Snapspark's background with some flavorful detail that you can build into your campaign world. Hasha shy. Scribble Snapspark, background, dead. Race, goblin. Class, bard. College of Eloquence, later. Background, reflavored. Field reporter, based on entertainer. Backstory summary. Scribble Snapspark grew up in a ramshackle goblin outpost called Inkblot Grotto, built into the side of a cliff near a trade road, close enough to eavesdrop on caravans, far enough to avoid being stepped on. The grotto was carved out by pickaxe, pen, and pure enthusiasm. It's now a rickety press center for the Daily Splat, a goblin-run, semi-legible underground news sheet distributed via magically animated leaflets and thrown scroll bombs. Raised among misfits and conspiracy theorists, Scribble was a naturally inquisitive goblin who had a gift for turning chaos into headlines. He began reporting on tavern brawls, merchant disputes, and strange magical events. Scribble isn't malicious, just fast and loose with the facts. He thinks a good headline should sting a little, and if it's not entirely true, well, truth is often less entertaining than fiction. He left home chasing his big break, a story worthy of front-page glory. Now he travels the land as a roving journalist, inserting himself into adventuring parties, major political events, and active disasters with all the subtlety of a pie fight at a royal banquet. Possible hometown, Inkblot Grotto. Location, dug into a sandstone canyon or the base of a ruined tower near a major road or city outskirts. Population, 40-ish goblins, kobolds, and one sarcastic talking raven who acts as the editor-in-chief. Known for producing a magically distributed news scroll called the Daily Splat. Secret, the grotto is built on top of an old scriptorium or magical printing press, which leaks enchantments into their publications. Hooks for you to use. Scribble's old stories occasionally get him in trouble. You said, "What about the Duke's cousin?" He may carry an enchanted press badge that opens doors or explodes when tampered with. An unfinished story from his past still haunts him. The Thing Under the Inkstone. The Raven editor, Quarkalomu, sometimes sends messages demanding updates or scoops. Would you like me to map out Inkblot Grotto in detail as a starting town?
The only changes you need to make is that the location is an abandoned outpost, fitting around 10 or so goblins. Perhaps the rest are usually outdoors collecting news and resources. Uh, uh, I don't think I want to give it too much time on this. I just wanted a rough outline. I'll just send that so it keeps that in mind. And I will now, quick way to copy this. I haven't done this in a hot minute. Do that, and then I hit paste. Okay, let's say nope. Let's go to menu. I want to bring it over to builder builds. Did I? Right there. Do I really need to move it? Maybe not. Let's just rename it. We'll just rename it for now. Where was it? Mountains. Go back to the How do we name it? Let's quick look at. Okay. Ink Block Grottos, what they decide to call it. That is the. There we go. Name. No. Go back here. Where? That's the one I'm building still. That can wait. There we go. All right. Right. These are old adventure modules. This is the I usually do testing people. Just remember on it changes for it. Do I have the changes? Just a rough note of. I don't have a thread for this yet. I have a indicate this. I have a Session 0 one-shot I use to test players and introduce them to my playstyle. I want to work on a negotiation test. This thing, like, what happens if I hit this again? Test. Oh, it actually does. Wait, what? This is a new test of your dictation mechanic. Okay, it does attach it. Okay. Just send it back for me. God, this AI gets a bit carried away of breaking this shit down. Keep your answers simple and summarized until I ask explanation. How often people use the AI and be like, explain more? Don't get it. Much better. Hear what they say.
Got it. Here's a simple approach for a negotiation test. 1. Scenario. A merchant has a rare item, but only if the players agree to help with a risky task. 2. NPC. A greedy merchant, desperate for the party's help, but unwilling to offer the item unless their terms are met. 3. Skills. Use persuasion, deception, or intimidation to influence the merchant. Insight to gauge honesty. 4. Consequences. Success. Players get the item but owe a favor. Failure. Players lose the chance or the merchant betrays them. Number 5. Group dynamics. Encourage the party to negotiate together. each player contributing. Let me know if you want to dive into any details.
Yeah, I don't want to use your example. I have a goblin that has just woken up in a dungeon. Is next to a ragged bed and a fire and is holding a rusty dagger. I want the players to be able to pass this room and this goblin should probably be hostile at first, but perhaps persuaded to combat. I don't know. I'll send it that, see what it thinks. Maybe I'll just keep it that simple.
For this scenario, here's a simple setup. 1. Goblin's initial state. The goblin wakes up confused, disoriented, and threatened by the party's presence. It's initially hostile, wielding the rusty dagger defensively. 2. Negotiation opportunity. Players can try persuasion to calm the goblin, intimidation to make it back off, or deception to convince it they mean no harm. If the goblin becomes convinced, it might lower its guard or even agree to leave without a fight, perhaps revealing a useful detail like an exit or trap. 3. Possible outcomes. Success. The goblin becomes non-hostile, possibly offering info, or it leaves peacefully. Failure. The goblin attacks, or it runs away, possibly alerting others. Twist. If the players fail and the goblin retreats, they might encounter it later, seeking revenge or offering a deal. You can adjust based on how players interact. Does this work for your scene?
I guess that's simple enough if I just leave it as a sort of reactionary character. I feel like I wanted it to have something involved. It dies and no one appears. The next one can be more apparent, but especially because of the previous one. It need it's or oh wait. This could be very interesting. What do I do that? Okay. Yeah, we'll experiment with that. Back here. Alright. I might actually start this little adventure then. Alright, let's start the adventure for Scribs. Where actually I have notes for this. I don't know if doing the whole spiel matters. I guess I'm curious how the AI reacts when given the whole spiel. Alright, yeah, alright. Scribs. Start of this adventure called Cold Touch of Stone. Blink once and you feel a cold touch of stone against your skin. Blink a second time and feel an aching pain radiating from the back of your head. Blink a third time, sit up. Check your surroundings, you see that you're sitting in what seems to be a cave, where you're pretty certain you've never been here. Something that just feels familiar about it. But you suppose most caves look like caves. I'll put that for now. It's just something I picked up ages ago from a podcast that resonated with me. But I use it for testing. So much time. Introduction to some of the fun things I like to play with. I gotta leave all that for later. Let's see how it dictated that. More or less accurate. Let's just see what it does when I give it this. Take a look at this. The reset's pretty simple on this. I don't think I need to do any. I don't need to copy paste this for cycle's sake. Let's give a token for the AI though. Here. Yay, goblin. Who's gonna look like a reporter the most? Did it mention what he has? They're a bard. It often picks bard for characters. Guess the one sorted token would probably better. Can't imagine bard. Guess it considers the bow an instrument. Okay. Oh shit, he's already using stuff he shouldn't have. Ah. Can I... Thing, but put those on. Hit send. Okay, it'll redo it. Always forget that. Alright, now let's see what they do. Streaming right? Okay.
Scribble blinks a few more times, rubbing his eyes and groaning as the cold, hard stone beneath him threatens to send an echo of chill through his bones. He pats himself down, fingers skimming over the simple, unadorned clothes he's wearing. This definitely isn't the latest in goblin fashion. After a moment of trying to make sense of the situation, Scribble squints around, his small form sitting on the cold, rough stone floor, a little bit of disoriented confusion on his face. His green skin looks slightly pale, but not from sickness. No, this place just has that uncomfortable vibe, the kind of place where an unexpected scoop might be lurking, waiting for a quick-witted reporter to turn it into something interesting. Well, looks like I'm not getting a scoop from the tavern tonight. He mutters under his breath and grins mischievously as his mind flips through possibilities. But who would want a scoop about a cave anyway? Maybe some weird old hermit living in here with a treasure chest full of dangerous secrets? Or a monster that wants to rule the world? And maybe also a few goblins? That's definitely a headline waiting to happen. Scribble stands up, taking a moment to steady himself as a mild headache threatens to cloud his thoughts. He looks around the cave again, examining the walls, the ceiling, anything that could point to why this place feels oddly familiar. His fingers tap the stone, a small spark of recognition flickering in his eyes, though he can't place it yet. All right, time for some quality reporting. First things first, find out where I am, and maybe if there are any snacks, or a dangerous cult to expose. That's usually the best place to start. He takes a cautious step forward, eyes darting from shadow to shadow, ears perked for any sounds or whispers that might offer a clue about his surroundings. His hand twitches for his notepad, but of course, it's not there. Just another day of being utterly unprepared, but still ever the professional. Scribble takes a deep breath and prepares to venture deeper into the cave. One way or another, I'm getting a story out of this. What happens next? Does Scribble hear anything, or are there particular sights in the cave that catch his eye?
Okay. Looking around a cave, you notice a coil of rope next to you. You hear a gentle howl of wind blowing out from the pit that separates you from the rest of the cave. Across the pit is another ledge and a doorway with a small torch lighting it that seems to head into a long, dark hall. Let's see what it does with that. A gentle howl of wind blowing out from the pit that separates you from the rest of the cave. Across the pit is another ledge, doorway. That's it.
Scribble's eyes immediately narrow in on the coil of rope nearby. A rope? That's not usually something you'd find in your average cave, especially one you don't remember entering. He snatches it up, looking it over with suspicion. Not exactly what I'd call a front-page scoop, but definitely useful, he mutters, tying a quick knot to make sure it's secure. His attention then shifts to the distant howl of wind, and he tilts his head. A pit? A cave wind? Definitely some sort of tunnel system, probably filled with traps, treasure, or, haunted relics. Scribble's eyes sparkle with excitement at the idea of uncovering something truly bizarre. But before rushing off into the unknown, he takes a moment to assess the situation. He looks toward the pit, taking careful note of its size and the way the wind flows out of it. His curiosity about the cave's structure flares up. Aha! Wind means air moving, which means something's pulling the air through. Maybe an exit? He thinks, his mind already jumping to conclusions. But the pit. It's a pretty big obstacle. Across the way, the torchlight from the far doorway catches his eye, casting long shadows across the dark hall. There could be answers there, possibly even the story he's been searching for. But the pit and the wind are both so inviting. Something tells him that any good reporter worth their salt wouldn't leave a potential escape route unexplored. Scribble paces a bit, making sure he's in no immediate danger, and then turns his attention to the rope. Okay, Scribble, here's the deal. Either you make a dramatic escape, or you go see what's beyond that spooky torchlit door. Either way, you'll be back with a story, so what's the worst that can happen? He ties the rope to a nearby outcropping or rock, if there's one sturdy enough nearby, and prepares to carefully climb down the pit, fully expecting something odd to happen on his descent. How does the cave react to this move? Does the wind shift or reveal more details? Or does something in the shadows catch Scribble's attention?
Oh boy, that's funny. I was a little concerned there where it just started saying it was going to use an outcropping or rock that I hadn't described yet, but the AI's improved. It's actually being like, if it's available. So, okay, this might work. You gain a 30-foot coil of rope, and there is an outcropping of rock nearby that you can tie it to. You tie it off without... let's stop that, actually. Should I bother... You know what? Yeah, this is D&D. I don't know why I treat it different. Alright, so you got a 30-foot coil of rope. You do find an outcropping nearby that you can tie it to. Could you give me a sleight of hand check to see how well you tie it up? Yeah, we'll go with that. Wait a minute. Oh, okay. Got a 13, but it assumed the result. Why did it do it in this manner? I guess because I didn't specify it, so maybe I'll edit the message. Give me the result of your roll. Give me a sleight of hand check. Without the extra bit that might have confused it. I'd put in, give me the result of your roll. Actually, well, I'll put that. Results of your rolls, and I'll ask. Give me sleight of hand check and an athletics check. Yeah, doesn't matter. Find a rope. Here we go. Once again, it's doing the rolls and it's doing things without me here. Also doing the math of the rolls wrong. I think. Maybe not. Did I mention his stats before? Rank be a -1. I understand. Dex should be a +2. And then what's proficiency bonus at level? It is +2. So your sleight of hand should have been +4, I think, for a skill check. Oh, it depends if he has efficiency or efficiency. Plus. Where did he get a +3 then? Unless he has proficiency? I don't like that this is. Oh, there it goes. Modifier for dexterity. Most of this looks right. Anyways, say give me the results he rolls, and it's just describing. Give me the dice results he rolls. I guess I won't worry about it too much.
Here are the results of Scribble's checks. Sleight of hand check. 18. Athletics check. 15. Scribble ties the rope to the outcropping with impressive finesse, the knot secure enough to hold his weight. He swings it over his shoulder and begins his descent down into the pit. Despite the wind, the climb down is smooth, and he manages to keep his balance as he lowers himself into the dark depths below. What does Scribble find once he reaches the bottom? Does anything unusual happen during his descent?
Okay, there's a few things that need to happen here, because it doesn't know the DC of the checks, so it's assuming a bit much. Since you don't know the D set I've set for the skill checks, I'd rather you leave the description of how your skill checks go to me. Also, what about this fire? Yeah, it doesn't really need this little final bit too. You don't need to prompt me to describe what comes next. I will do that myself. Prompt me at the end. Wait, what? You don't know the D set? What the heck is D set? Oh God, I fucked up my mind so much I don't even remember the proper word now. Difficulty check. He said, what the hell? I was trying to say DC. I mean, skill checks one word. Okay, can I do that? I like how it keeps going. Here's the description of how to check skill. I'm telling you not to do that. I'd rather you read. Oh, because that's. Oh my god, it didn't dictate me at all correctly. I'd rather you not read the description. Not read the description. I'd rather you not describe how your skill checks. Why did it do that again? There, just skill checks goat. Try that again. Okay, wonderful. So, he starts descending. Okay. You descend the full length of the 30-foot coil of rope down the pit, and you find you can't see the bottom of the pit still. You're now hanging here. How do you proceed? I should have said that a while ago. Why is it prompting me again? Remember not to prompt me to describe. Outside your character's knowledge. We're gonna have to prompt me to describe. Excludes that. So.
Scribble's grip tightens on the rope as he hangs in the dark, the chill air around him almost palpable. He blinks into the abyss, squinting, but still can't make out the bottom of the pit. This is probably where the good stuff happens. He mutters under his breath, trying to remain calm despite the eerie sense of not knowing what's beneath him. He takes a deep breath and begins slowly, carefully climbing down, his feet finding footholds as he works his way deeper into the pit.
Wait, what?
His mind races, thoughts of mysterious creatures, treasures, or, most likely, his next big scoop, making his heart beat a little faster. If he senses anything off, he'll make sure to stop and reassess his next move.
I'd probably I'd suggest you stop over describing your actions until you know how successful they are. I need an athletics check for you attempting to climb without your rope. I'll rewrite that one. It translates it. Need an athletics check for you attempting to climb beyond the reach of your rope. It seems like I can't do more advanced data analysis. You're rolling a dice. Are you serious? Man, I thought this would last longer than having it DM for me. It broke so much faster. You reached your data analysis limit. It needs data analysis to handle a die roll, huh? Try again tomorrow at 9 in the morning. Buddy. Really? This is just as far as it goes for today, huh? Let's see, blah, 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 blah. Everything is free. Extended limits on message file uploads. Advanced data analysis. I gotta pay $200 for unlimited analysis, huh? Limited access to advanced voice, extended access to research previews, access to the other stuff. Even this one, access, extended limits. Based on the positioning and wording, it basically wants price of me setting up a whole AI voice model myself. Basically, they're taking the money. Unlimited subject to abuse guardrail. What is that? What's abuse guardrails? Or you must adhere to terms of use which prohibits, among other things, abuse. Abusive usage such as automatically or permanently extracting data. I guess people could script the AI to constantly provide some sort of live data or something, and they want guardrails against that, so they have them. Well, that made for a very short campaign.
I heard you say $200.
Maybe can do something else. Close all these tabs. That. I'm gonna make a new friend. Remember the goblin character. Previous friends. Okay, good. So this, wow. He didn't even move one tile. I guess he technically went in the pit, so he did move actually. But like, once he was in the pit, it was like game over. Go back to main menu. How long have this been? This has been 2 hour stream so far, yeah. If it's reached its limit already, I probably can't ask it to do anything extra. Can you generate a tiny village map image? It's willing to generate an there's lots of people trying to create imagery right now, bodied off. I feel like creating an image is a hell of a lot more work than rolling a dice. I asked AI to make an image and it's like working on it now. Which I thought would have been like, you're at your quota today, no. Apparently it's just working on that instead of rolling the dice for the goblin instead. Seems a very imbalanced. Limit. Oh boy. Sorry? It's a 12th, yeah? Or 11th? Wait, oh great, now I gotta check.
Sorry.
The 12th, Monday, I work in the morning. And the day after that, I go to hospital.
No,
Yeah. I should be off today. That should be the reason it's cut off.
sorry, I missed you. It was just funny.
Uh,
I'm sorry.
it's okay. I just forgot because I was distracted with other things. Oh yeah, there's the image. Very dead over a dice roll. That does not map out in my head at all. I'm gonna stop the stream, I think, until I decide what to do with my time now that the AI is gonna do the campaign. Yeah, let's just take a break later.